Alright, so this is my review of Cosertoys Abyss Knight Death. And for those of us who played the game, we just know him as Death from Darksiders 2. Pretty cool figure, recent release. I just got him as a pre-order that just came in from Gundamn It. So I got him for around 80 bucks on Gundamn It. I know he is getting pretty hard to find now, so I will put some links up where you could get him. I know he's still in stock on AliExpress, but the prices I've seen are 100 and up now, so get him while you can, because I'm guessing stock is pretty limited for him. Pretty niche figure. So let's get right into the review, and let's just go into his general kind of appeal. How good does he look? And his dimensions also. Alright, so let's just start with some measurements here. And, you know, in-game he's usually slouching, so I think I've got him in a pretty neutral pose here, but let's see how tall he is. A bit over 7 inches. So if you have him standing upright, you could say 7.5, as I have him here, like 7 at eye level, yeah, like around 7.25 inches tall. Pretty good size to him, and I will say he feels very high quality. He's got good weight to him also, and just so you can see that too. And actually, let me just take the sights off him just so it's more accurate. So, yeah, so he's around 6.5 ounces, so he's definitely got some heft to him, and he definitely feels substantial in hand too. Very cool figure, feels very well built, doesn't feel like cheap quality or anything like that. Anyway, so let's take a good look at him. Starting with the face, just get the camera to focus. So that looks really good in my opinion. Looks just like he did in the game. Very nice texturing all over too, like his skin's got like the kind of like realistic effect all over it. It's got like the raised surfaces, all that good stuff. Very nicely sculpted muscles. He's got that very kind of like menacing physique in the game, like huge shoulders. They kind of capture that really well. You could really make him hunch over, looks sick. And just like the details on his armor. You don't really see details like this on a lot of figures, just being honest. Like, this is just exceptional. And at $80 too, and we'll get more into that later, like, this is just great. And, you know, for people who like the fabrics and stuff, I think they did a really good job with those here. Real metal buckle there, I think that's metal, I'm not sure. I can't tell. Looks like it's got that shimmer. The fabric is very well done. It's not like frumpy looking or sloppy. I can't get over the skulls. Those just look exceptional. So aesthetics, the only complaint I have, and it's a very minor one, is I wish his skin tone was a little bit more blue. If you played the game, you know what I'm talking about. He does have more of a bluish kind of tinge to his skin tone in-game. I think that looks a little bit cooler. Don't get me wrong, this still looks excellent, like just exceptional, but I would have preferred his skin just be a little bit more blue. I think it's just a little bit more iconic, just more true to the game. But, you know, can't really complain too much about that. This figure looks great. But I will give his overall aesthetics just a 4.8. To me, he looks perfect. Just, yeah, maybe blue tone. And that's something you could easily do if you have a brush. Like, not a big deal. Let's go into his articulation. And start with the head. And let me just get a little bit more light on him. Yeah, so his head's on a double ball joint. Just a typical dumbbell joint, works very well. Actually, let me just take this off so you can see better. Yeah, so his head's on a nice dumbbell joint. No complaints there. A little bit limited by just the hair, but that's, you know, it's a flexible plastic too, but just be aware of that. So you get all the movement you probably want with the head. Could be a bit better, I guess, but it does what you need it to. So now the arms are on a ball swivel that's connected to just kind of like a free ball joint. So pretty good movement there. It does kind of break up the sculpt, but I'm okay with that because you get pretty damn good movement with the arms because of that. So just so you get a good look at the joint. You get that ball joint in there, ball swivel. So pretty old-fashioned type of joint. You see those like on Revoltech, some Figmas, but as far as I'm concerned, it works better than having a bricked off figure, so I'm okay with that. And you get all the movement too. You do get a bicep swivel here. I didn't really even break this figure in. No heat, no oil, none of that kind of nonsense. So that's a big plus for me. You do get a double jointed elbow, which is pretty excellent movement considering how jacked he is. And, you know, typical ball swivel on the wrist. Very nice, thick, meaty wrist also. Not even worried about that breaking. And they gave you extra wrist joints too. So I'm noticing a lot of these kind of companies, these third-party companies are more generous. Like they give replacement joints. Like that's a good thing. Okay, now his diaphragm, pretty good set of articulation there. He's got 2 sets of ball joints in there, so one for the upper and lower. So he can crunch forward very well. That's about as much as you'll get because you don't want to kind of fray that belt piece. He goes back pretty damn well too. You could push him probably further than that, but why would you want to? You do get a little side to side also. And you can rotate at the waist also. And you can rotate at the upper waist too. So you do get that. And he could do a full 360. Yeah, I tried already. Legs. I can't really tell what's going on under there just because, you know, it's a soft good, but you do get good leg movement. Like his legs come straight up. Now, my one gripe with soft kind of materials for the clothing is I'm paranoid that they're going to rip at some point. And if you really pose the hell out of your figures, I think it probably will. So I would have preferred this be done in plastic. That's just me. I might be in the minority with that, but I would have vastly preferred just plastic throughout. Even kind of like this, like kind of frayed piece here, I would have preferred in plastic. I just prefer my figures all in plastic. Just more durable, less worries in the long run. Yeah, but for what it's worth, it doesn't feel like his pants have like a lot of tension on them. Like it feels like he's got some good movement in there. Like I'm not too worried about it, but I guess I'll just have to learn how to sew if anything happens. But yeah, very, very fluid figure. Like this is just beautiful set of movement here. Like no tension, and he's not like a floppy mess either. His legs get pretty good movement. You do get a thigh swivel there too. I wouldn't push it too hard because, you know, at the end of the day, it's still soft fabric you're dealing with here. Could fray or rip if you go crazy. That does look like a double jointed knee. I will just push it just for the review. So you do get good movement there. And you do get I can't tell what type of joint is in there, but you get a full set of movement there. It feels like just a ball joint, which I'm okay with. I do wish they gave kind of some more space here for the ankle to just kind of come up. But a little tricky to get him to stand sometimes unless you make him slouch, which is okay because he's meant to slouch. He's death. He's always slouching in game. You do get some movement on the belt pieces too. Those are articulated also, just so you know. So in terms of an overall rating for articulation, yeah, he stands perfectly fine. I'd say 4.5. Only because, you know, the soft piece is always going to kind of limit what you're going to do or what you're willing to do, just because there's always that risk of something ripping or stretching. Never really liked that, but still works, so I can't complain too much. So I'll give it a 4.5. Ankles could be a bit better, just with the forward movement. The kind of articulation scheme here, it works. It's old, but as far as I'm concerned, I really don't care. It's good. It does break up the sculpt a little bit. There's probably a better way they could have done that, but I'm not that picky. So, I mean, for me, it's fine. It works. I would have preferred that better than like a statue. Very nice work with the kind of diaphragm setup. So 4.5, like no real complaints. So let's talk about his accessories. And he comes with essentially his sides. Now, I'm not sure. The sides, I think those 2 dual sides that he comes with, that might be a pre-order bonus only. And let's just move him away for a second. And I just found myself just staring at this thing. This is just like gorgeous. This is probably the best, without exaggeration, the best of the best in terms of 1/12 accessories that I've ever seen. This thing is like heavy too. It feels like this thing might be as heavy as like some figure arts by itself. So let me just show you the details on this thing. Absolutely stunning. Like you could see the freaking like glowing eyes in the skull here. So that looks great. Kind of that transition in the steel, everything. So that looks just exceptional. Okay, so that's one. And equally impressive, if not more, are these little dual sides that he comes with. And it's got that nice crystal in there. That just looks gorgeous. Like, that's exceptionally well done. Just like the kind of contrast in colors there, like the lighter edges, that dark crystal looks great. The runes on his blade. And just so you can see, like, that's the skull. Like, you can see the glowing eyes on the back of it there. He does come with a scarf. Very easy to put on. Just slide it over his head. Very iconic look for him. And does come with a few more things. Let's just dump them all out. And we'll just talk about them. So he does come with alternate hands. And, you know, I like that he came with, like, just the right amount of accessories. He didn't come, like, overloaded, which I feel is just unnecessary sometimes. Comes with some cool alternate hands, just neutral, kind of open hands. Those look great. And, you know, I can't get over the detail on, like, how they did the skull, like, the bone work on him. It just looks great. He does come with kind of like a hilt piece for the huge scythe. So that just pegs on. Let me actually just see if I can fit that on right now. Yeah, and very simple to get on. I like this one a lot, the scythe. Very generous of them. They do give you 2 extra joints. So if by some bad luck you do break something on his wrist, you're covered, and that's great. You do get an alternate face. I can't say I'm familiar with him like having pupils like this. Looks a little strange. Like, I don't ever remember him having irises like that or pupils like that. Probably won't use this face that much, but I do appreciate the fact that they included it. You do get, looks like this is an alternate hilt for the scythe. I'm not honestly sure. But you do get this also. I'm not sure what this accessory is for, to be honest. It looks like a key or something. Because I remember the game was just loaded with these keys. But could be that. And that's about it for accessories. So accessories get a 5 out of 5. No real complaints there. And let's bring him back. So in terms of overall value, I got him for $80. As far as I'm concerned, overall value is a 5 out of 5. No real complaints. $80, he's over 7 inches tall, great articulation, exceptionally good look to him. No QC issues whatsoever. So all my joints on this guy are smooth, no floppiness, no torn fabrics, nothing. All his joints are just smooth as butter. He looks exceptional, so that brings his overall rating to 4.74, and he definitely deserves that. If you want this figure, definitely try getting him now, because he is selling out on a lot of sites. Check Gundam. They do restock, I noticed, so don't overpay, because I could already see probably eBay sellers probably selling this for like over 180. I've seen some jackasses already do that. So get him now while you can. Don't rely on a secondhand seller. I know AliExpress has a few copies, and I do buy from AliExpress, so I think they did improve over the years. Just check the seller rating. Don't get scammed. I did see him on a few Japanese sites. I did see him on Ami. Someone correct me on that if I'm wrong, but he is on sale on a few Japanese sites. But look around, you could find him. You could find him for probably a little over 100, which isn't bad. As far as I'm concerned, he's still worth that. Or if you want to kind of bid your luck, try Gundam, but you know, you never know if he's going to come back in stock or not, or 5K Toys. So get him if you like the game. This figure is great. exceptionally well done. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And yeah, thanks for watching. Take care.